Hey.
Hi. Oh, thanks for having me over.
Thanks for coming.
So excited to get cooking.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. We are back with Nature of Things here with Radhi Devlukia in her gorgeous, gorgeous kitchen.
I'm so happy to have you in my kitchen. I'm so excited to make this dish, seriously.
Oh, me too. We're gonna make next day squash bolognese.
Yep.
A lot of this came out of wanting to help people think a little bit more about food waste, but also I find, especially with plant-based cooking, which I know you are a luminary chef and thought leader in the plant-based ayurvedic space, all about connecting food, our wellness, how we live. And I feel like we share that language. And you know, there's so many vegetables that are amazing, but frankly big.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of times, especially with squash, like,
there's always like half left over. Yeah.
Oh, what do I do? It's so much. Is that really for an entire dish? So this is, I tell people, it can be any kind of squash, but the idea of this is, it actually really came out of, true story, I did an event and we used honey nut squash. We had so much left over. I took it home and I was sort of playing around and it just made the best Sunday sauce.
That's the best when you don't know what's gonna happen in a recipe and you just wing it. That's my favorite type of cooking.
Exactly. And then I have to go back and be like, what was the recipe and what did I do?
So true. And trying to get down recipes when you're so used to just throwing things in, that's the hardest part. Sometimes
I ask people to watch me and I'm like, tell me, because I do things that in my mind I didn't do.
Yeah.
So like if I were to write a recipe, it probably captures 70% of what I actually cooked.
My mom as well.
So this is what it came out of, Italian culture. A lot of my cooking is American, but also a lot of Japanese influence, a lot of Italian influence. You know, Sunday sauce, you let it go for as long as you can. The recipe says an hour, but I tell people you can make it the night before, reheat it, it's even better.
Yeah, the flavor.
You could put it on in the morning while you're working, go back to it in the afternoon.
And I feel like there's such minimal ingredients in it, which I love.
You know, the simpler the better.
It's so good.
First things first, we're gonna chop our celery and carrots.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you chop first.
How do you want them chopped?
We are gonna trim a little bit. This is gonna be our compost bowl.
The most littlest amount possible.
I always tell people, get a compost bowl, get a bin. The goal is that you watch your food waste, you track it.
Yeah.
You can use that for your stock. We're gonna use vegetable stock in this recipe. You know, the truth is also, I tell people, the best part of this recipe too is your knife skills could not be as amazing as Radhi's. And I use an immersion blender. You can use a Vitamix, you can use a food processor, but the truth is it's all gonna go in the yummy goodness ragus. You don't have to have the best, but she's showing off right now. This is impressive. What got you into cooking originally?
Oh my gosh, my mom, my grandma were the most incredible cooks. I grew up vegetarian, and so for her, making sure that we were getting all of our nutrients as possible, like she was always coming up with different dishes. We'd travel and she'd bring back the dishes that we tried there and make them at home every week. And she just explored in the kitchen. I think it was her love language, and I think it became my love language through watching her.
This is perfect. Okay. I'm gonna co-opt our bowl. We'll do the carrots. So you have to tell everyone, tell me about this spice. So I am an allium freak. I would live on leeks.
I was too.
We put garlic in absolutely everything. And I love this series because I learned something new from every single person. And I have never heard of this spice. And I am now obsessed with it. So I need you to tell everyone what it's about.
So I also was someone who, my favorite type of pasta was a garlicky pasta. And then when I started studying Ayurveda, in that I started learning that nightshades and alliums, they actually create inflammation in the body. The problem was that as time went on, we started using onion, garlic, and tomatoes as the base for everything. And so even I've trained as a dietitian and nutritionist, and so when I would do IBS clinics, the first thing, even in conventional medicine, that would be recommended to take out of your diet is onion, garlic, and tomato. So instead, there is something called asafoetida. We also call it hing. It mimics the flavor in some ways of onion and garlic, mainly garlic, I'd say. But sometimes
it has this smoky, I mean, there's really like an earthy smokiness to it that's like shallot and onion and garlic, which is exactly what you do when you base something, right?
It creates less inflammation in the body and also has incredible medicinal effects. So if you do struggle with onion and garlic, then it's a great replacement. Okay,
so we've got our pot of boiling water ready to go. When we're getting the sauce on, then we'll do our pasta. I brought you the Patagonia new pasta. A lot of what we talk about in my regenerative kitchen in the cookbook is small swaps. So thinking about regenerative pasta, introducing a new grain is such an easy way to sort of be part of the movement and be a little bit more climate conscious in your kitchen just by buying a different pot. Before we put that in, we're gonna get our mirepoix going, and then while that's going, we'll chop up our next day squash.
Awesome.
Leftover from my family dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned Ayurvedic. I mean, it's a big reason why we started with avocado oil.
For this amount, I'd probably do like a half a teaspoon.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's strong. Yeah. What's something that people would be surprised to know about your style of cooking, like Ayurvedic? So I think people think they know what it is.
I also think people
But usually
think it's
don't.
very complicated and that it's like a very restrictive type of eating. But, you know, I honestly think to try and incorporate just minimal practices, whether it is reducing the amount of nightshades you're having, whether it is the way that you're combining certain things. And really the main part of it is listening to your body. The whole thing is, am I eating something and is it making me feel energetic? Is it making me feel alive and vibrant, or is it making me feel lethargic?
And we're just gonna pop this in, get it coated. The squash is already seasoned because we ate it last night for dinner.
Yeah.
But just kind of probably let that go. I'll do the whole one. I brought extra just in case. Patagonia.
I will say, hearing you speak has made me want to do so much more. Like,
We're gonna get you a garden.
do so
We're
much
building
more.
a home
Yeah.
farm. That's our next step.
I have to give you curry leaves, remind me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're marrying the doneness of the pasta.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful. Oh my god, the color of this pasta is so nice.
Also, if you're making it a little bit in advance, I put a tiny bit just to keep it from
Yeah, for
sticking, give a little flavor.
Oh yeah, I like it.
See what I
Already
mean? I know,
like
and
it.
it's like addicting.
And it keeps it chunky. I like
Exactly.
it chunky.
All right, now we're gonna put a little bit of our cheese in.
Let's do it.
You decide.
Okay, go ahead. Chuck in as much as you want.
What do you
There's
think?
so much depth of flavor in this. Honestly, the avocado oil on top. That's good avocado oil. It's really good.
I told you, hair mask, I use it on my face. I use
Yes.
it on my skin. It's the best.
The flavor of it is incredible.
Like I said, you could even do this with, honestly, carrots. You could do it just carrot. Like I said, I like doing mushroom, all
but-
kinds of squash.
I love the fact that it was just a small amount of ingredients and maximum flavor. That's a great dish.
This was so wonderful.
This is so good.
Thanks for doing this with us. Thanks for inviting us into your
Delicious.
beautiful home.
Thanks for coming to cook in my kitchen.
You know, perfect for fall.